Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady and principal owner of Everett Tax Solutions, where we help you win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the small business community. All right. So the IRS is getting back to work, though, even though it's been a slow transition back to work. They are getting back to work and they are resuming collection efforts. More specifically, they are starting to send out the CP500 series letters. And so I want to go over that with you to let you know what that is. And so basically what happened is, because of COVID, the IRS suspended these letters. And I think that they may have paused May sometime. That doesn't matter. But the fact is that they did pause those because you know what? They went home too. I don't think a lot of people really understood that the IRS was shut down with COVID issues as well. So they stopped those letters. And then in the meantime, all of that mail that was already en route to the IRS was piling up. And so when they finally got back to work, they had like 12 million pieces of mail. It's something crazy that they were, still trying to get through. So they're getting through that. They suspended sending those letters because you know what? People were sending stuff in and they had no clue because they wasn't at work. So let's talk about the main types of the 500 series letters. It's the CP501, the CP503, and the CP504. All right. So let's start with 501. This is generally the first letter you get that says, hey, you have a balance due. And it also tells you what your options are. And there's a lot of information on these letters from the IRS, you guys. I tell you time and time again, when you get a letter from the IRS, make sure you open it up and read it because it's got a lot of information on there. It's going to tell you the tax year. It's going to tell you how much you're owed. It's also going to tell you by the date that you have to respond. Okay. And it also gives you other, types of options to pay and all of that stuff. So that's on your CP 501 letter. But again, the main thing is this is going to give you a date by which you have to respond. Because then if you don't, that's when we start, the IRS has to start enforcing the law. Okay. And so that's when you get to the CP 503 letter. The CP 503 letter is the IRS saying, hey, we sent you a letter. We still have not heard from you. So now this is, more of trying to get your attention. And then on that 503 letter, they're telling you that you might be subject to a lien if you don't pay. What is a lien? A lien is when the IRS pretty much reserves their spot in line on anything that you own. So let's say that you own a home. If the IRS places a lien against your home, that means that the IRS is going to get paid before anybody else gets paid. Okay. Can you get liens removed? Absolutely. But when you get that CP 503 letter, you're one step closer to having a lien placed on your property than you were with just the CP 501 letter. All right. And then there's the CP 504. Okay. And that's what tells you, hey, we have sent you a CP 501 letter. We sent you a CP 503 letter and you still have not done anything, right? And so that's when the CP 504 letter comes in, and that's when it tells you, hey, you need to pay this balance or you'll be subject to a levy. And a levy is when they start taking things, where they start taking your state and federal tax refunds. Well, if you have a tax bill and you get a tax refund the next year, they're going to hold that anyway. Okay. That's what a levy is. They can also levy your bank accounts. That's when they reach into your bank account and take your money out. Yes, they absolutely can do that. And it's not just banks, okay? It's also those third-party processors like your PayPals, like your Cash Apps and your Stripes. If you got money sitting in those places, the IRS can reach in there and pull that money out as well. That's what the levies does. And then the final notice and the demand is the CP14 letter. Okay. That's when the IRS is like, look, we're tired of fooling with you. We got to take action. So, so the main thing that, I reiterate time and time again is that when you get letters from the IRS, you have to respond. Say something, even if it's just to call them to say, hey, I got this letter. I might need a little time. Okay. because the IRS is not trying to put you in jail for not paying your taxes. That's not the goal. Okay. The goal is to try to get you to pay your taxes. And that's what these letters are. And this is where we also remind you that the IRS does not initiate contact by phone. There's a letter somewhere that comes in the mail. So if you have moved or anything like that, it's important that you keep your address up to date, because these letters don't always get forwarded. We already know how the postal system is looking right now, right? Because, you know, and it's we just can't even depend on the post office right now. But, you know, but the bottom line is this: if you have a tax bill that you can't pay, do you still need to file? Absolutely. You may need to increase your withholdings from your paycheck in order to cover that tax liability. But you could also get help. There are several different payment options that you have, whether it could be an installment agreement, also known as a payment plan. There's the offer and compromise. There's different types of scenarios that you may qualify for. Not everyone qualifies for each type of payment scenario. Please understand, okay? So it's not that you say, oh, I owe $30,000. I just want to do an offer and compromise. Well, there's basically a test to go through. There's a lot of numbers. They look at your national average of, your cost of living and all of that. They look at your assets. And when I say they look at your assets, let me tell you something. They look at whether or not you have stocks, if you have a retirement account, if you have cryptocurrency, if you have weapons. They're looking for any type of asset that can be sold to pay your tax debt. And so this is why I'm saying is not everyone is going to automatically qualify for an offer and compromise. It may be that that payment plan that you qualify for. Okay, that was extra. All right. So, like I said, just know that the IRS has resumed sending these letters out. If you get the letter, make sure you open it, make sure you respond. And if you need help, you need to reach out and get help. You can get help from an enrolled agent like myself. You can get help from a CPA or a tax attorney. All right. Those are the three types of people that you can get help from to deal with your tax debt. Okay. But just know that the IRS is getting back to work. The letters are coming. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning into Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, and you can come right here to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right, have a great day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.